press, and then after that,
hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Alabama Soccer Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. And we already started the second half, and we were underway, and here we go. And we are under the lights. It's a late night game. Under the lights. I really love late night games. Why? Because it's going to be dark outside. And again, we want to thank you all for making a great summer season this year. And we could have done it without all of you. And now the summer season is now in the books. Now we can remember what we did this whole summer since June 20th on a Thursday.
From those College Cup Glory 2022 memories. I give Skorka a lot of credit because she sort of played a little bit all over the place, you know. Freshman year described as
and now once we hit the fall tomorrow,
not really able to find her way.
We're actually right now we're going to, because you know, starting this week in Philadelphia is going to be much cooler than before. And I'm very glad.
And she's a player that is
so this
eager
time,
to get forward. She can invert, and that helps Alabama sustain their attacks because she pins the opponent in. But she had so much competition in years past with Reina Reyes and Bella Scatura-Bright, who just got a large majority of the minutes because of their athleticism, their mobility to play end line to end line.
Ramadan. Trailing run through midfield.
The midfield. Oh!
Labovich, no further. Has gotten 4 starts this season. Even a Labovich. Ball forced away by Mattern. A remarkable athlete. Mattern pumps the brakes, went for goal. That's easy for Laie.
Oh.
Over the line, Cameron Silva couldn't get there.
And that last sequence for Tennessee, a good illustration of the two strikers.
So our jerseys is white.
Ball through, Runyon hit it wrong.
And for Tennessee, Volunteers is orange.
Into the midfield, turns and plays it into Matter, and this time it's Mac Midgley with a little reverse pass right into Runyon's
They
path.
kicked in the wrong way. Like what? Like what are they doing out there? Like, are they serious?
All power loses some precision there. Can't direct it on frame, but another good-looking opportunity for Tennessee.
This women's college soccer season has already been started since August.
This Tennessee side, sophomore, comes off a goal and an assist, packing both goals in a 2-1 win against Ole Miss on Thursday night. Racing for the corner flag. Lofted across, that falls kindly.
Oh!
Go ahead goal, Tennessee. Sammy Woods.
Oh no!
Thursday night as Tennessee ahead with 40 minutes remaining.
But it's still one of my favorite teams as well, so yeah.
And Tennessee working the ball into the wide channel up their left-hand side, drawing all the pressure from Alabama to one side of the pitch, and it's one ball eliminates the entire team for Alabama. Immaculate first touch from Sammy Woods to get around the edge, and in such an acute angle, Laie slightly off balance. Sammy Wood goes for the near post. Laie back on her heels, can't react in time, and quickly Tennessee strikes in the second half.
And Jill, it's probably the most overused and often incorrect cliche in goalkeeping. You can't get beat near post. Is that a positioning error or is that perfection?
It is a misconception. Goalkeepers can absolutely get scored on the near post and it not be solely on them, but it's got to be a worldie. And as good of a first touch Sammy Wood took there, she is in such a tight angle. And Lallier is even skewed a bit tight to her near post there, so you would think that would force Woods to go to the back post. Lallier is just not balanced. She's slightly back in her heels, not expecting it to be at that near post. Woods able to find a way through.
It's 1/3 of the year, 100 seconds later, Kennedy Price, first of her career. Now Sammy Woods, 50 minutes in, 4th of the season. Tennessee in front. Through now, Paul.
Oh, score! Good! We tied the game!
Instant response.
Whoa! Oh! Wow, man. Oh, my goodness. I've been going crazy and nuts like tonight, man, because now I cannot believe what we saw. And we made a goal. Yes, it's good. It's a goal again. And we tied the ball game.
Incredible in behind the back lines. When she gets eye to eye with the goalkeeper, she does not miss. It's the pass from Meyer. Ramadan with the vision lays it perfectly into the space behind the back line. And we've got a scoring barrage in our hands.
We have a scoring
between the goals
garage in our hands today.
First, then Tennessee. And the Tide have responded in even faster measure here in the second half. And what a game we've got on our hands.
What a
here.
game we have going.
Ton of space
If
out
they
on the
do it
right-hand
again,
side.
I'm going to be going
Right
crazy.
side.
No!
Cleared. Comes off.
Way off.
Play by Latino.
Wow, it's a beautiful night here today at the Alabama Soccer Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama.
Up 2 goals tonight. And one more disallowed correctly by video review by a very slim offside margin.
Right at the end of the field, there's a video board.
Now in the first half, Alabama starters played about 78% of the minutes. Tennessee was 80% of the minutes. And as the sun goes down, it becomes a bit more temperate. But you are reminded that these players all featured on Thursday night in really tight games. The Open SEC Conference play. So the benches are going to be substantial in the second half, no doubt.
The Alabama goal, I keep thinking about how special that goal was. Yes, the finish for Gianna Paul was elite, but that third player combo from Myers to Ramadan, silky little build-up, so smooth, so intelligent, great movement from Paul. Spectacular team goal.
Ball laced back through the 18. Settled by Alabama. Those are the things that Ramadan and Paul do that aren't necessarily common in our sport at the collegiate level. Paul touches inside.
Oh, yeah. Oh!
Touch Cesara. Just enough on that to guide it wide of the post. And Paul's feeling it tonight.
Wow.
Trying
Wow.
to spaces, but look at that little ball from Silva outside of the boot, lays it perfectly into Gianna Paul's path, and that touch right there to eliminate the pressure allows her a better opportunity to shape a shot from a central position. Huge
Wow,
save
we
from
were
Cesara.
so close.
Wisely
Wow.
puts it out of frame and out of touch, out for a corner. That's a difficult save, Mike.
8 goals for Gianna Paul now this season, 7 coming in.
Oh,
Each of her
I
first
knew
2
that.
seasons on campus. 4th corner for the Tide. Back across the face of goal and slips away with Kate Henderson Their great aerial threat off the service from Ramadan. Jopic returns, and Lobovich takes a seat.
And that's one of the benefits that we see from this Alabama team, just lowering their line of confrontation, having a better deep build, because then that generates space in behind the back line for Gianna Paul to get into. Last year, they like to bring their high line, that high press, and that limits the space inside the final third. But Gianna Paul is a player, when she gets on the run, her momentum and her ability, her dribbling capacities at high speeds are just unparalleled in the SEC.
Swerved in behind. Mattern lines up Skorka. Skorka got a piece. Now a set piece. Tennessee volunteering for their third corner of the match. Latino off that of Ramadan. And the run out is on here for Alabama. Silva.
It's a beautiful night here at the Alabama Soccer Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I tell you, and a reminder, this upcoming weekend, on the last weekend of September, it's going to be a big game at the Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium. Will be that Georgia-Alabama game at the Saban Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium here in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. I hope that Pat McAfee and the boys like to take over the field for a college football games such as, you know.
No, that's mine, says Jamelli. Melly's showing off.
He's got that winger in there, Mike. Former attacking player up top for Alabama last season.
It just doesn't go away, does it?
No.
12 goals for Dayton 2 years ago. As the A-10 Rookie of the Year, then the Offensive Player of the Year.
Oh, contact. Oh.
Outside on first glance. Latino cannot believe it. Showing yellow for that as well.
Yellow card for Tennessee. Uh-oh. All right, let's see how the contact has been.
Run out of the midfield. Latino comes with her and commits the foul right there, touches her, initiates contact right on the edge of the box. Just a small graze there. It looked like Latino extended her arm.
So this is going to be reviewed. Here's a couple points worth noting. On the edge of the
now this
box,
is going to be on a video review. Video review.
So it's not like a goal where the entire ball needs to be in or the entire player needs to be in. It's where did the contact occur?
So
it's not the ball that matters in the case of a potential foul.
Well, right now there's a video on a review and see how this
it's
contact
where the
has
contact occurs that's deemed the foul. So
it might be a
really
foul
interesting
actually.
Piece of this review, in part to me, is the defending player is in the 18, but the attacking player, Jill, is outside the 18.
Yeah, that's why everybody has to drink a lot of plain water. Maybe a drink, that's a good idea. How hydration
tight,
break thing.
but
That's not
frankly,
a. That's not
very
a.
objective
It's not a bad
opinion.
idea, but it's a good idea because
Absolutely, the
let me
contact
tell you
is
something.
made inside the box. Now,
Everybody must.
It was already a foul, which would mean that would be a penalty, no?
absolutely, he called it.
So that is.
Ooh.
Oh.
Man, that's a tough one.
Oh, it was.
It's deemed a free kick, not a penalty.
Oh.
When you see it on replay, it doesn't really look like Latino gets all that much of Meyer there on the edge of the box.
'Cause now,
but he
with
did
this,
initially call it a foul, which
without
you can't
being
reverse through video review.
Well, it can be like crazy or something.
And you can't decide whether or not it's a foul. That was simply a geographical question. Was it inside or outside the box? They've deemed it to be outside. That is a really tight margin. Take a look at how this free kick is set up. It's about half a yard outside. Top of the area, Ramadan.
It didn't go. Blocked by the
And
defense,
out for a throw.
actually, I guess, but. Yeah, this soccer game is just. I'm gonna switch up something.
Take a look. This is where the ball was struck from, so that's where it was deemed that the foul occurred.
Who loves volleyball?
This deemed that Latino initiated the contact higher up in the pitch and then forcefully pushed her outside the box.
It means supposed to be the case without proof.
Alabama firing on all cylinders. That's contact. Well outside the area. The ball untouched. Skorka watches this out ultimately for a goal kick for Tennessee. Admit it, Jill, you love video review.
I like that the referee has an opportunity to say, I'm not sure, and I want to make sure I get this right. We talk so much about those small margins, and the referees have this incessant desire to want to get it right and call the game very objectively to what happened.
This comes to Paul. I mean, you and I spoke to a longtime college official a couple years ago as Alabama advanced into the area. Again, curling ball across the face of goal and out. There was an incident at Vanderbilt in the final seconds of the game that, with review, certainly would have gone a different direction. And the immense frustration of the official to get that call wrong and to be able to acknowledge 10 seconds after the game was over, being able to look at it, that he was wrong, but not being able to do anything about it, that's the point of video review. And I give a lot of credit to the officials that are learning this on the fly. I mean, I work so much with CONCACAF and their VAR situation. You have to train officials in how to view the game. The NCAA has been clear, including in conversations with announcers at ESPN, they don't want the flag to stay down. If you know it's offside, call it offside. It's not quite like MLS or the NWSL, but there is increased tools for referees to make right obvious errors that do occur in any human capacity. Here's Gianna Paul. Good slip ball ahead. Off the line, Cesara. And Tennessee partially clear it. Paul followed.
And that play initially started with long ball over the top into the wide area. It gets Tennessee's defense facing their own goal. Ali Zazar, very aggressive off her line, comes out, makes the smother. Gianna Paul shapes up a shot from distance.
Paul the foul here. Let's go back to that early long ball.
Here's that long ball here from Brooke Steer into the wide channel. And
What's on now?
that one down and
Press OK to jump to 8.
Kate Henderson continues that run. Aggressive, decisive goalkeeping from Zazar as she comes out, makes herself big behind the ball. A good opportunity for Alabama.
And it was that trailing foot that got it. I mean, Henderson nearly pulled Alabama in front in this game.
And when you go down into that shape, you're just trying to take a gamble and make yourself as big behind the ball as possible and get is right. Because if you do, even if you commit down to the ground, the attacker have a very difficult time trying to dribble you, slow down their momentum, get around you, especially close to the end line.
All four out with those
Friday 12 a.m.
scores.
Friday 1. Friday 12:20.
Price in the 42nd. Goals for Alabama in the 40 from Sawan. And 50 Smith from Paul.
Wednesday 10:21 p.
And not even video review can change that outcome. Here's Gemelli. Yapich. Henderson.
Battlefield Pe-
Goal kick.
Friday 7 p.m.
Subs coming. 4 goals. Jill, walk us through the game.
High school
It
foot.
all started with Alabama starting this game. The
High school
Meyer, who's delivered this perfect pass into the run.
Saturday.
Kennedy
High school football.
from distance. It was
Saturday 7 p.
to Sammy Wood
Girls high school volleyball.
near post, but how about
Saturday 9 th-
Alabama?
High school foot.
Gianna Paul, no chance she's going to miss that.
And with 25 minutes to go, we might be due for a winner here down the stretch. And that back pass out over the line, a self-inflicted wound. Steer put under so much pressure, seeds a corner to Tennessee. Four corners apiece tonight. Muriel Croughlin. Ball away. Woods got something. Alabama spreads its wings. Smith. Clearance miss hit. Opens the door to Alabama again. Gemelli. Sanderson. Silva. Smith. Henderson. Pirouettes away. Price put under pressure. Driving and dipping and setting the cross. Where's Smith?
Really good patience from Alabama in that sequence. You can see how it started a bit narrower toward the halfway line, and then Alabama's wingers really fan out wide. Gemelli has played it out to Silva. Patience across the final third. And Alabama just trying to find those small little gaps that they can have some penetrative passes in, similar to what they were looking for on that second goal.
Lining up the long throw. Anderson will deflect that. Decent seeking ball. Rabindus was waiting. And walk back by Alabama. Final game of the 4 WNBA playoff first round matchups tonight. Game 1 of a 3-game series. The Storm and the Aces. 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific on ESPN. Asia Wilson named unanimous MVP, leads the Aces tonight. One of 16 SEC players, alumni that feature in this year's WNBA playoffs. Record viewership, record numbers, and hey, you and I know Portland, they love women's sports there. The Thorns, a perfect example. They've been the leader globally, bringing fans through the gates at Providence Park. WNBA expanding to Portland. Can't wait to see it.
I'm just trying to get over that sports bra bar in Portland. That women's sports only bar.
I'm disappointed I haven't been yet. I've been to Portland twice this year and I haven't managed. I've got to change that. There's a new one opening, not a franchise per se, but same concept in Minneapolis. Everyone watches women's sports, Jill.
That's right.
Midgley for Woods. Would you rather go see a game in Toronto or Portland in the WNBA? Where can I lasso you in?
Ooh. I'm gonna go with Portland. I like it there. Okay. They have good food trucks. Yeah, good food trucks.
Yeah, well, really smart move. Toronto doesn't have an NWSL team. You can only anger so many fans. Old jitters in and out of possession. Tennessee will walk it back. Minutes to play. What an awesome first week of SEC play we've got. Loyer. Jordan Crosby, the winner for number 6 Auburn today against Florida. 1-0 win. Oklahoma, first win over Texas A&M. Auburn now 9 clean sheets in their opening 10 games. Memphis, the winner for the Sooners, their first SEC win under Matt Mott. Into the area, Boggs. Highly celebrated freshman from Ashburn, Virginia. Getting more and more time at the outside back position. Wins another corner for Tennessee.
Boggs doing a good job of receiving that, slowing her tempo down. Then it's a quick change of pace to try to get around Gemelli. In the end, well defended by Gemelli, but earns Tennessee a very valuable corner to try to establish some tempo inside their final third.
And back in for Alabama. Freshman from Missouri. Cross hung through. Handle lofted, header out. Everyone gesturing. Corner number 6 for Tennessee to come.
And number 18 in orange, Allie Brown, she is certainly a center back that I've got my eye on all season long. If she is not nominated for one of the best center backs in the league, I would be very surprised. This deep-lying playmaker, to be center back is just a bit reductive for her. She is a deep-lying playmaker. She's physical. She likes to engage in confrontations and is just an aerial threat inside the box.
Coughlin, ball bounces high. Not a clean strike. Thomas beneath it. Few goal scorers that we've seen better in the last decade in the SEC than Jada Thomas, even with 3 ACL tears, still back for more with Tennessee.
Good commitment there from Tennessee, though, to keep that inside of the penalty area to give themselves an opportunity on goals. 3 or 4 players that battled to win first and second balls to keep that play alive.
Tennessee slow walk it ahead again. Yet another corner. This is 3 in about 2 minutes time. Stat Encyclopedia Dan Ferran chimes in 7 corners. Thanks, Dan the man. Coughlin comes high again, tough to deal with, and Alabama able to break that first line, and this is really threatening. Kukan dishing out to Henderson. Huge.
Wow!
For it. Garcia was flying ahead. Ooh.
That's a little bit of Alabama from old days, quickly moving the ball from A to B in the most direct routes as possible in transition. Kennedy Garcia dishing it out to Kukan, who takes space off of the dribble, gets her head up, dishes it to Henderson in a wide space, and the early service in behind. Kennedy Garcia trying to get on the end of that cross. A little touch from Zazara redirects that ball out.
Kennedy Garcia shown yellow at the end of that. 15 minutes remaining. Second yellow. We might have a bit of a developing situation in Starkville. Number 11, Texas, who drew in their opener, trailing 24th ranked Mississippi State 1-0. Allie Perry in the 15th minute there, and Mia Justice went down injured 31 minutes into that game, was replaced by Megan Hogate. Texas, the reigning Big 12 champ, new to the conference, of course. Brunel or Thomas.
No surprise at that result there, Mike. I've got my money on Stark Vegas and what James Armstrong is doing down there at Mississippi State. It's been brewing for years, and they're just looking for that real breakthrough season. This would be a good win for them.
All look forward. I mean, it's a Texas team that's kind of everyone's sexy pick for the College Cup. Missimo and Byers, 2 All-Americans. But Mississippi State, they don't have the name recognition. We've mentioned it Thursday in our coverage of the ranked teams. It's only the 10th week in program history that they've been ranked. They are really good. Here's Gemelli. Angles through. Garcia. That's a clean challenge. Play on. Skorka. Prodded away by Midgley. Able to retain at the sideline. Ramadan. Yapic, Gemelli crossing. It's a hair too high. At Henderson coming. And there might be no player in Alabama lore outside of Riley Parker that you'd rather see arriving at that back post.
Well, it was Yapic into Gemelli. Good ball, hangs it up into the back post, but it's Kennedy Price. That little nudge, that initiation of the physical contact there on Henderson is so vitally important. Off balance is Henderson and really stops her from even trying to rise up to redirect that one on frame. Good little piece of physical play from Kennedy Price.
Henderson takes a seat. Henderson takes a moment. Everybody does. There is no hydration break in the second half, but this feels like an unofficial one. Monday Night Football, doubleheader. Trevor Lawrence and the Jags, Josh Allen and the Bills. Special 7:15 Eastern start time on ESPN, the ESPN Deportes. And then Jaden Daniels and Joe Burrow, the former Tiger Heisman winners, lead the Commanders and Bengals respectively. 8 Eastern, 5 Pacific on ABC and ESPN+. Monday Night Football tomorrow with a special twin bill. Awesome football game yesterday for Tennessee to go to Oklahoma. You could just see the emotion for Josh Heupel and what it meant. First time back where he won a national championship since his mom passed away earlier this year. The crew on ABC did an amazing job with their coverage of that game. Big time Tennessee win. And I don't think I need to tell anyone in Tuscaloosa what's coming up on Saturday night. Number 2, Georgia. Number 4, Alabama.
Yep. As a reminder, this Saturday is going to be a big game because Georgia will take on Alabama.
Denny, perhaps.
Yep, Alabama.
For that
I'm sorry.
enormous game on Saturday night.
And what we saw just a few moments ago, or maybe a minute ago, we see the lights at the Bryant-Denny Stadium, like the Sabine Field at Bryant-Denny Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. That's gonna be a big game for Saturday because Saturday we'll have like Georgia versus Alabama. That's gonna be a big game.
This is where I start asking Stephanie for freebies. I'm not sure we're going to win that battle.
How nice have you been?
Ball through. Runyon. There is Laie. Not nice enough for $400 tickets, I know that.
And Laie, really important player in terms of her vertical positioning to really support the center backs and any balls that get played over. Alabama having a lot of sustained possession inside their final third, and the long ball for Tennessee to just stave off some of this pressure and bypass the counter press of Alabama is on. Laie there to prevent any opportunities behind.
10 minutes to play tonight. Tennessee trying to get to 2-0. They'd be up at the top of the standings with the likes of South Carolina and Arkansas.
The only sad part is that we did not see no commercials of the University of Alabama and even the University of Tennessee
In fourth.
at all.
Other results
So, yeah,
tonight.
sorry.
This very early stage, and yet 20% of the way through the SEC season. Header is away from goal from Runyon. And SEC Network will have coverage of that 12-team, 11-game Carnival a week in Pensacola. The end of October, first week of November, the SEC tournament. Both these programs have eyes on being there. The question, Where will they be seated when they do? Would they get into the top 4 and get a bye on that opening Sunday? Worth its weight in gold. Runyon and Smith come together. The whistle goes in Smith's favor. The center back who's at the unenviable job of replacing Sasha Pickard, a 4-year starter at center back. Felt like Alabama was trying to figure this out, right? They've been in a diamond where it's Clem holding and Pickard at center back, and there were some obvious, and of course McKinley Crone on that 2022 College Cup team vacating ahead of last year. The spine of this team eviscerated by graduation. Seems like they've started to figure some things out there.
And it just makes sense, Mike, that they're going to set up in this 4-3-3 and retain width. That's going to give more space to Gianna Paul in central position, as well as Ramadan. And if Paul can drive the center backs back, that's going to leave space on the top of the box.
Skorka. Searching. Off target.
Because when you get inside the penalty area, time and space are your greatest commodities. So now by Alabama really retaining the width and stretching their opponents out, that's going to give more time and space for their playmakers in central areas where they really can influence the final third.
Tennessee trying to build. Alabama starting to put them to the screws. Well done by Tennessee. Only slipped away from Mattern. And into
And that just
Crossland.
begs the question of where's that been all game from this Tennessee side? It just looks at times they can drive through Alabama's block so easily, using their 9-10 as a platform to then bring the midfield into the game. The 9-10's really, their timing off the back line and they receive the ball has been impeccable to then add to a bigger, more dynamic attack for Tennessee.
Brilliant slip from Skorka and furthered into the width. Cundy dicing. Kukan back into the field of play. Meggs to the top of the 18. Cross through. Sometimes you feel teams running out of gas. That's not the case here. All gas, no brakes. Mattern opens up, goes for goal, and sends it soaring out of play.
It's a hopeful ball that Mattern chases down, then just goes on one-woman solo dribbling expedition here into a central area, sails it over the bar. It's a good decision. Didn't really have any oncoming support to play back into. Sees a window, tries to take advantage of it.
We on ESPNU for tonight's matchup. And this game will last until 9:30 or something.
Such an early stage. These are the matchups at the end that you look back on that dictate the difference between a 4 seed and a 7 seed. We've seen it so often. And this is a real RPI booster at the end of the year. The name recognition is good, but the numbers are going to be strong from this one. 100 seconds between the first 2 goals of the night. Exactly 60 seconds between the most recent pair. So Juan, Price, Woods, Paul. Bunched around halftime. Gemelli orchestrating. Call for that run. There it is.
Amazing.
Slips by. Trying to work off Podolski, who turns 17 next week.
Wow.
And that is, you heard it right, a 16-year-old freshman believed to be the youngest in Division I this year. Jill, we talk about the concept of reclassifying often in football and basketball, less so in soccer. We'll hear a lot about players coming in January, graduating from high school 6 months early, but reclassifying a full year ahead. We saw a player at Georgia that's done this, and Podolski, part of an under-17 World Cup qualifying team, the age of 16, on campus here at Alabama.
Well, it makes sense, and you look at Wes Hart's resume and his track record of developing players. It makes sense to be in an environment where you're going to be challenged every day, where you're going to be developed every day, where you're playing with some of the best players in the country every single day, rather than 2-3 times a week for an hour and a half with your coach who may or may not have another job that they have to do, so their full attention really isn't on you. It's just important for those young players to be safeguarded in an environment where they're forced to make adult decisions before they're maybe ready for that.
It's something you and I have talked a lot about in relation to the new NWSL Under-18 initiative. This runs out of play. You need to make sure you are prepared to take care of younger people within the context of a professional or a college environment. And not every program and not every pro team is. But Wes Hart led Colorado Rush the better part of a decade before going to Florida State, then here to Alabama. You know he's going to handle that in the right way. And so Alabama bring in a prodigious 16-year-old. Kukan. Kunde. And line. Precious time remaining. A valuable corner, and Price has given so much to this game. And they're moving her back into the field of play so that they can stop the clock with 2:44 left. I mean, make no mistake, Price's goal, wow, right before halftime. The amount of effort she's exerted in the wide areas, you can understand why Joe Kurt felt fairly confident.
The reason why we stopped the play because one of the soccer players from the University of Tennessee is down, is injured.
Really special with her individual defending, and even in their last game against Ole Miss, dealing with Ramsden, who is one of those tricky wingers, a product of Manchester City's academy. She's done a fantastic job tonight, Kennedy Price, of dealing with the oncoming runs of Jessica Skorka, who has just continued to get into the final third time and time again and try to turn this defense. Kennedy Price has been patient in her individual defending, waiting for those moments of separation where she can just get a toe in, poke, prod it away, or block services into the box.
So Price comes off. That's a big loss with under 3 minutes to play. Trying to safeguard at least a point tonight, Tennessee. Do it on the road at Alabama. Tough gig. All knotted across. Settled, angling free, that's blocked, and an injured player in the 18. And so the
another injured player again. Oh no.
Done right here. But what happens after that?
Oh my God.
Is going to be interesting because in theory it would be a drop ball. And Alabama in theory had possession of the ball when it happened, but this, without doubt, the most important.
We have two injured players from Tennessee.
Allow Woods to be attended to in a high traffic area.
Uh-oh.
I think he starts from a corner kick here,
how
delivered
it
into
happened.
the area. Sammy Wood rises with Brooke Steer, and Steer just looks like she gets the back of Sammy Wood's head. That didn't look good.
And this is undoubtedly one of those moments where two players go up for a ball with no ill will, and one of them ultimately catches the brunt of it. Woods, the equalizing goal. Will make that the go-ahead goal in the 51st minute, only to see it undone by the 51st
Wow.
minute.
We had
shot
2
Paul.
injured players from the University of Tennessee. That's really, really,
And so
really
now
not good.
Tennessee down 2 players in the
It's
final
my
3
year
minutes.
number 2
Stayard
watching women's
comes
college
in for
soccer
Woods.
and women's volleyball.
Consistent playing time last year, primarily off the bench, so certainly familiar with the situation. And there's Price. One loss in the last 33 games in Tuscaloosa for Alabama soccer. That's Alabama football numbers. Three wins in 27.
We're under 2 minutes to go in the second half before this game is over.
It's 23-1
Tie ball game at 2 apiece. Who will break the tie?
and 3.
Oh, this is a tough game, I can tell you right now. The reason why it's tough,
100 ticks to go, and as we found out tonight, that could be enough time for 2 goals, but 1 would suffice. No overtime in the regular year. Paul.
but unfortunately, there will be no overtime in the regular year, unfortunately.
Throw for Tennessee, and
But
they
the
may leak some air out
only
of the ball.
but the only sports that can be in overtime is just basketball, football, lacrosse, and even field hockey, and yeah.
Throw for Alabama. Final minute.
Final minute, under a minute to go in the second half before this game is over. This game is just being like kind of tough too, you know. This is a tough game, I know.
Paul. Free kick.
Free kick.
Clock runs. And Alabama's got to move if they want the final chance of this game. Here it comes. Ball thrust up into the air. Cleared away
No.
from the line. And the awaiting Smith. Harder point. Both
That's
ways.
it.
That was
Game's
a great
over, and we
CC
won
game.
in the tie. 2 apiece.
Certainly no
And our
shortage of
score is
goal
2-2.
action on this one. Both teams
Go
extremely
Alabama
opportunity
Crimson
to
Tide,
score.
and go Tennessee Volunteers. And we won the game in the tie.
Themselves in the final third, counter press well. The Tennessee had their moments when they were composed and they moved the ball through their structure. But credit to Tennessee's defensive effort. They staved off Alabama's presence and earned the point tonight.
Second draw for Alabama to start conference play. Tennessee moves on to 4 points.
And we won the game in the
time
tie.
There's your scoring summary.
Tie score at 2
Minute 40
apiece.
seconds apart. Woods and Paul a minute apart. And take a look at all 4 goals. They're all worth another look. We start with Sawan in the 39th minute in the Alabama opener.
Nice ball in from Lexi Meyer into the run of Sawan. And this is just a thing of beauty for Kennedy Price off of one touch. Right inside into Sammy Woods. Sammy Woods just finds a small crack. Price it right open. And this is a well-constructed goal for Alabama with the equalizer in the second half. Entertainment, drama, lead changes. It's a fun one.
Jill, to quote Stefan.
And our final score is 2-2. The tie game.
Ultimately 2-2.
I'm glad we won in the tie. Go Alabama Crimson Tide, and go Tennessee Volunteers.
Split the points. Plenty of celebrations, and for good reason. What a wonderful game this was. Alabama and Tennessee. The Blue Bloods come together here in Tuscaloosa and put together a memorable 90 minutes. For Joe Whitten and our entire team in Tuscaloosa and beyond, Mike Watson.
And we'll say so long from Alabama Soccer Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Alabama. We'll see you next time, folks.
Did you